Alright, what's going on, everybody? We are live for the Defenders and Brahmas. I gotta change this up at the top. But week 7 of the UFL kicks off tonight. The Defenders are 4-2, and they take on the 1-5 Brahmas. Although the Brahmas are the only team, or their only win this week, or this season, was against the Defenders. Definitely gonna be an interesting game. Oh wow, that is way too bright. That's better. Hold on one second. Let me switch the color of this. But welcome to the stream, everybody. We got the Defenders and Brahmas tonight. Could be a interesting game. Of course, we got the Brahmas, who are terrible on a primetime game. And the thing that makes it even worse is I believe the Brahmas are on the next 3 Friday night games, including this week as well. So the next 2. But, I mean, they gotta play sometime. But, I mean, maybe we can see an upset. We saw the Showboats beat the Stallions a few weeks ago. That was the first win of the year for the Showboats. Maybe we can see an upset. I mean, the Brahmas, they've already beaten the Defenders in DC. Now they're home. Definitely possible. Alright, there's a poll. Who do you guys think will win? Welcome to the stream, everybody. What team is better? I think the Defenders are better by quite a bit. Even though the Brahmas won before, I got the Defenders in this game. I got them pretty easily 30-9. The Brahmas, since that win, getting outscored, I think it's 53-6. They have not been playing well. But welcome to the stream, everybody. We got the Defenders and Brahmas tonight. The Defenders lost a blowout to the Panthers last week. Definitely need to get back on track. It's actually the first time I'm streaming both these teams this season. We've seen, I think, every team in the UFL that I've streamed on Friday night besides these two. Yeah, definitely, because yeah, we've done all all USFL and the 2 XFL last week that aren't these two. But it is going to be the Defenders getting the ball first here against the Brahmas. Both teams playing with interim head coaches. Shannon Harris, for the Defenders, he's been their interim head coach the entire year. He should easily be promoted to head coach. He's done a great job. And Peyton Pardee for the Brahmas won against the Defenders a couple weeks ago, but it's been terrible since, though. I mean, the Brahmas are just not very good. Don't think you can put all the blame on him. The Brahmas kick off, and off we go here in week 7. Kick goes to the 9-yard line, going to be returned from about there. And on the return, Chris Rowland breaks the tackle. Rowland out of bounds the 38-yard line. Nice return there for Chris Rowland, leading the UFL in catches, yards, and touchdowns. Coming in to this week's game. But Jordan Tayamu and the Defenders offense out on the field. Tayamu first in passing yards and passing touchdowns, but the worst completion percentage in the UFL, completing just 50.2% of his passes. But the Defenders with a great starting field position, getting the ball on their own 39-yard line to start this week's game. Tayamu in shotgun with the back to his right. Here's a quick throw to the outside. That is going to be caught for again about 6. To number 3. Not too familiar with either of these teams. Like, I know some, but definitely not as much as I do on other teams. Let me pull up the roster for the Defenders. Here's Tayamu to throw. Nobody's going to tuck it and run. And Tayamu takes a big hit. It's going to have a first down, gain 6. And the Defenders move the sticks. So from midfield, Sayama looks like he wanted to go deep. Now underneath we'll find Cornell Powell, the former Clemson receiver. And he'll have another first down, gain of 12. And the defender's moving the ball here to start this drive. So 1st and 10 from the Brahmas 38. Sayama directs traffic. And now it's going to float one down the sideline. Wide open receiver down the sideline. Touchdown defenders. That took long. Braylon Sanders, a 38-yard touchdown catch. And the defenders go right down the field on their first drive. And they take the first lead of the day. That did not take long at all. The defenders go right down the field. Big play touchdown to Braylon Sanders. They go with another RPO. That RPO heavy offense for the defenders, but it works. Just like for the Panthers. I know some people aren't the biggest fan of that, but if it works, it works. The defender's going to go for 2 here. They're 3 of 11 on 2-point conversions this season. 2 of 3 on 1-point attempts, have not attempted a 3-point conversion. I definitely think it's interesting that a lot of teams go for 2. Even though when you compare the numbers for everything, it is clearly you have a better chance of converting at 1 point. The Brahmas going to challenge this play here. They're going to say it's on the right tackle, 75. Yeah, this is going to come back off the board. It's going to be a hold against the defender's right tackle, Brooks. So that is a big penalty right there. A good challenge for Peyton Party and the Brahmas. Backs the defenders up 10, takes the touchdown off the board. And instead of being a 6-0 defenders lead, it's now 1st and 20 from the 48. That is a big penalty. We saw a similar call to start last week's game. The Renegades went right down the field, scored a big play touchdown, got wiped out due to a penalty that was added via challenge. And now, then that drive, the Renegades ended up missing a field goal. See what the defenders do here. So it's 1st and 20. From the 48. Tiamu in shotgun, back to his left. That's Deion Jackson. Tiamu looks to throw. Throwing underneath, that is caught by Cornell Powell. Makes a swatting catch after a gain of 5 to the 42-yard line. Or actually, that's the 43. So it's 2nd and 15. Sayamu looks to throw, pressured. Here's a screen to Deion Jackson. And Jackson is going to slip a tackle, and then he's taken down after a gain of 5. So it'll be 3rd and 10. 2 plays get the penalty yardage back. And it's now 3rd and 10 here for the defenders. So it's 3rd and 10. From the Brahmas 38. The defender's second best third down team in the UFL, converting 47% of the time. Oh, this is going to get backed up here. False start against the defender's backs from 5 to a 3rd and 15. Week 4 against the Brahmas, which is 1 of 2 defender losses on the season. They were terrible, very undisciplined. There are 13 penalties for 121 yards. Definitely a big reason they lost that game. So 3rd and 15. You might not be able to get this here if you're DC. You might just want to see if you can get in field goal range. Sayama, with time, steps up in the pocket and goes down for a sack. Sayama loses 7. Back to midfield, and the Brahmas defense going to force a punt. A great job by the Brahmas. They allow a touchdown, but it gets taken off via the penalty. And then a sack here. On 3rd and long, it's going to be a punt for the defenders. And a decent start to the drive for the Brahmas. Or to the game for the Brahmas. So 4th and 22. The punt is away. And it is going to be returned from about the 12, taken down right there. Great special teams play by the defenders. Stops him at the 12. And let's see what the Brahmas offense can do for their first possession. Seems like it's a little hard to read this still. Let me make this a little bit darker. That's better. Hold on 1 second. But the defenders on that drive, they end up going 6 plays, 11 yards, take 4-11 off the clock, although. Obviously, they had the big touchdown. That was a 38-yard catch and run. That was called back. And then the false start and the sack. But a good start to the drive. Didn't do a good job finishing the drive, but the Brahmas defense did a good job. They got to stop. And let's see what Kevin Hogan and the Brahmas offense can do for their first possession. The Brahmas offense has been playing extremely bad. 3 points in each of the last 2 games. Have not scored a touchdown since week 4 against the defenders. And we'll have to see what they can do this week. Obviously, they started Kevin Hogan last week. He wasn't too great. I mean, he wasn't terrible, but he definitely wasn't amazing. The quarterbacks for the Brahmas this season, Derek Guanatano has not been good. Kevin Hogan wasn't very good last week. And Kellen Mond, extremely talented player, but has not been able to put it together. But Hogan last week made his first start of the season, 179 yards and an interception. So 1st and 10, they'll start off on the ground with John Lovett up the middle for maybe a yard. That is an area where the Brahmas have been pretty good. They've ran the ball effectively, but they've just had to abandon the run so early in a lot of games because they've been down by so much. That was actually Jashawn Corbin with the carry there. Number 6. No Anthony McFarland today for the Brahmas. He is out with an injury. 2nd and 9. Hogan, pressured quickly, gets rid of it to Corbin. Got a lot of space down the sideline. Jashawn Corbin across the 40-yard line, out of bounds near the 45. A huge catch and run there for the Brahmas. Really nice play on the second play of this drive. The defenders brought a blitz, and they can't get a linebacker out there matched up against Corbin. So Hogan just dumps it off to him, and Corbin with a big catch and run. 1st and 10 from the 45. Here is Kevin Hogan on the option. He's going to keep this to the outside, and he'll be forced to bounds after a gain of 11. Hogan, one of the most experienced quarterbacks in the UFL at 32. And oldest quarterbacks. So 1st and 10 from the 44. Hogan looks to throw. Has time. Going to take a shot. Deep down the field. That is incomplete. Flag comes in. Trying to hit Marquez Stevenson. We got offensive pass interference. Goes against number 10, Justin Smith, who had a big game last week. Call for the penalty there. They try to run a pick play to get Stevenson open on the fade. But it gets called for interference. Backs him up with 1st and 20. 9 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. Game's still scoreless. Hogan in shotgun back to his left. No handoff here up the middle. Gain of about 3. Actually, give him 5 there as he falls forward. Aiden Robbins, number 27, with the carry on that play. Hogan in shotgun. Corbin the back to his right. Hogan tries to find Corbin on a swing pass, but it's incomplete. So it's 3rd and 15. Third and 15. Hogan looks to throw. Pressured. Rolls to his right. Throws back across the field. It is caught by Alizé Mack, but he's well short of potential 1st down. It's going to be about a 4th and 6 here for the Brahmas. And decision here for the Brahmas for Peyton Party. They can kick a field goal. You can go for and get aggressive early. But it's 4th and 6. Oh, they're going to take a delay game and punt. They're going to try to draw him off. They're going to take the delay game. What Peyton Party says. I don't really like that. It would have been about a 57-yard field goal at that spot. That's definitely a long field goal, but with the way your offense has been over the past couple of weeks, I mean, you might as well just take points even if it's a long field goal. Or, I mean, you might as well get aggressive early. You're 1-5. I don't know. I don't really love that. I understand it, but I don't love it. I mean, punter Brad Wing is one of the best punters in the UFL, but still not the biggest fan of that move for the Brahmas. So Brad Wing, the former Giant, on punted away. And his punt is going to bounce inside the 5, and it's going to... Is that downed? Let's see, they down that at the 1? Wow, what a punt. Let's see, they're still discussing things. Down near the goal line. I think this is good. Oh, it's a touchback. The player who touched it had his foot on the goal line. So it's a touchback. And it will come out to the 25 for the defenders. I wonder if they can give us another look at that. That was really close. But the punt ends up being just too far. I mean, it was a good punt, but they just couldn't quite save it from going to the end zone. But, I mean, it was very close. It ends up only being 15 yards when you look at it that way. That the Brahmas, they had at the 40, now the defender's getting it at the 25. So really not worth it to punt in that situation, but... I don't know. I think I would have either kicked a field goal or gone for it. Don't love the decision to punt in that spot for the Brahmas. I mean, they did have a pretty good drive. They went 6 plays, 44 yards. 32 of them came on the catch and run for Deshaun Corbin. But ended up being a pretty solid drive before they got to a 3rd and 15 and had the punt. It was really the offensive pass interference that set him back. So we wait for them to come back from commercial. The defenders getting the ball back at the 25-yard line. The defenders' offense so far this season, they've been pretty good. Jordan Tayama leads the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns. Chris Rowland leads the league in passing yards, or receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. The defenders, 337 total yards per game. That is most in the UFL. The best passing offense in the UFL. Their offense is quite good. I think the only area they can really improve is if they can complete more than 50% of their passes. So the defenders' offense on the field at their own 25. Tayama looks to throw. Throwing to the outside, that is caught. And he's knocked it out of bounds after a gain of 7. Mickens makes the catch. That's number 3. His second catch of the day. Tayama started the game 5 of 5 for 34 yards. 2nd and 3. Here's another quick throw. Tayama now 6 of 6. Another completion to the 42-yard line. And it's been a pretty pass-heavy approach so far for the defenders, although, to be fair, half the plays have been about RPOs, where you can hand it off or throw it. But 6 pass plays, just 1 run play so far. Oh, hold on, is that a fumble? Let's see, we don't get a review, so it's going to stay defender's ball. Here's Toyama, almost threw an interception. It's incomplete. Went off the hand of the linebacker number 1. I believe that's Devontae Beckett. But you can see what Toyama's trying to do. He's trying to get it just over him, but nearly has it intercepted. That is Beckett right there. One of the best players on this Brahmas defense, although no offense to the Brahmas defense, but that doesn't say much. 2nd and 10. Toyama looks to throw. Underneath that is incomplete. Just missed Roland. That's a big mistake. Roland open underneath. Potential for a catch and run. And Toyama just misses him. That's the frustrating part with Toyama. He'll be on the money. And then he'll just miss some easy throws. So after starting a perfect 6 of 6, Toyama now 6 of 8. 3rd and 10. Here for the defenders. Toyama looks to throw. Has time. Throwing outside. That is a sliding catch. No, is that caught? No, incomplete. Cornell Powell had it for a second, but it got knocked free. And it's 4th down. Well, I don't know. That might be a catch. Either way, it's going to be short of 1st down. But Powell makes the catch. He's on the ground, and then it gets knocked free. I think that might be a catch. I mean, he didn't have it for that long, but I think he completed the process of a catch. They have switched it to a catch, but it is still 4th down. So it's 4th and 1 here for the defenders. Let's see what they want to do here. You can definitely go for this, and yeah, the defender's going to bring the offense back on the field. I like the decision here for Shannon Harris and the defenders. It's about 4th and 1 here for DC. They're just inside Brahmas territory on the 49. Toyama in shotgun back to his left. They're going to hand it off here. Deion Jackson has a 1st down. Jackson on his first carry of the day gains 3, then that's a flag that comes in. But if it stands, 1st down defenders. It's going to be a defensive penalty. So it will stand me 1st down defenders. We got hands to face against the defense. That'll be an extra 15 yards and obviously an automatic 1st down. Defenders run an extra lineman for that play. A run heavy look, and they did run the ball. So 1st and 10 from the 41. Here's Toyama who throw to the outside. That is caught. Lots of space after the catch. Tries to hurl over somebody, but the defender says not today. And it's going to be taken down at the 23-yard line. But a nice catch and run for the tight end Moore. Riley Moore with a nice catch. There's another RPO for the defenders. There's a triple option. We see the Panthers run a lot. Moore thought about the hurdle, left his feet. But the Brahmas defender there definitely did not feel like being on a highlight reel. So 1st and 10 from the 23. Another good drive here for DC. There's a handoff right side. Jackson is stopped at the line. No gain there. Maybe got a yard. Haven't seen Abram Smith yet in this game. It's been all Deion Jackson at the running back spot, although they haven't really run the ball much. So it's 2nd and 9, 8-play, 53-yard drive so far. It's taking 4:05 off the clock. From the 22, Tayamu off-play action pressure, flush one, downfield, that is, oh, what a catch! What a catch by Moore! It takes him down at the 2-yard line. I thought that was going to be nearly intercepted, because I thought Tayamu wanted the deeper receiver. Instead, he finds Moore, the shallower receiver, and he gets to the 3-yard line. What a throw. What a catch. Really, what a catch. 1st and goal from the 3. Here's Deion Jackson up the middle, and Jackson powers his way into the end zone for defender's touchdown. Deion Jackson with a 3-yard touchdown run. This time it will stand for the defenders. And they're on the board first with a minute 43 to go in the first quarter. But they go back to that throw and catch. That is a great catch from Moore, which really sets the defenders up. They're going for 2 here. Tayama outside, incomplete. Trying to find Chris Rowland, but led him too far. But it's a 6-0 defenders lead. The touchdown is good. Now they got the touchdown, but the 2-point conversion fails, and we really haven't seen teams be too successful on 2-point attempts so far this year. Let me see if I can pull up the numbers. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can pull up the numbers, but I definitely think teams, when looking at it from a percentages standpoint, have definitely been better when it comes to going for 1 than 2 or 3. Yeah, I don't know why we've got on the Fox website they have 1-point conversions and 3-point conversions and no 2-point conversions, but well, first off, we've only seen 3 3-point attempts attempted all year. 2 of them are successful. But the 1-point conversion's definitely been the best for teams so far. We've seen 30 attempts at a 1-point conversion this season. 17 of them have been good, so over the 50% conversion rate, whereas 2-point conversions are not very good. Well, actually, I mean, it's a very small sample size of 3-point conversion, but I think it might actually be the 2-point conversion might be actually the worst. The worst conversion when it comes out to looking like how often, what percent of the time a team gets it. Alright. They're back from commercial here. Brahmas going to get the football trailing 6-0. Brahmas offense moved the ball on their first drive, although ended up having punted away. Here's Marquez Stevenson on the return, and Stevenson breaks a tackle, and going down the sideline, Stevenson forced to bounce at the 38-yard line. A good return there for Stevenson sets the Brahmas up with decent field position. And let's see if they can capitalize off that. Riley Moore in the season, 9 catches for 137 yards, 2 scores. He had a couple catches on that drive. Hogan throws to the outside that is caught by one of the Brahmas tight ends, and nice catch and run, just dragging defenders with him for a gain of 8. So it's 2nd and 1. Hogan in shotgun back to his right. Hogan looks to throw. Hogan dancing around, rolls to his right. On the run, Hogan looking, flag comes in. He'll just throw it away. Give you a hold here against the Brahmas. 74 call for the penalty. That'll back him up 10. So 2nd and 11. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. So 2nd and 11. Hogan in shotgun back to his left. Hogan looks to throw against the blitz. Hogan zips one over the middle that is caught for a first down. A big play for the Brahmas offense. Justin Smith makes the catch the 42-yard line. And a nice throw and catch. .21 yards on that one, and I think that's going to be the final play of the first quarter. Yeah. So 6-0, the defenders lead the Brahmas, but Brahmas putting together another good drive. First drive looked pretty good as well before they punted. Hold on 1 second. Just want to check something real quick. Alright, but we wait for them to start the second quarter. Defenders lead 6-0, but the Brahmas moving the football. Current drive, 2 plays for 30 yards. Well, technically 2 plays, 20 yards when you factor in the penalty. But Brahmas, they've moved the ball pretty well. Now they just need to get in the end zone. But in the first quarter, the defenders outgetting the Brahmas 96-88. But the Brahmas are averaging 11 yards per play, which is quite good, obviously. Defenders really could be up at least 12-0, but the Brahmas obviously challenged and brought it back. So they're back from commercial. We start the second quarter. Brahmas with the football on their own 42. Or sorry, the defenders 42. Hogan in shotgun. Will hand off up the middle, and it can be about 4 yards on the carry. Not a ton of space to run the ball for Robbins, but it's going to be able to get 4. Hogan with a nice first quarter, going 4 of 5 or 71 yards. So 2nd and 6. Here for the Brahmas. From the defender 38, Hogan in shotgun back to his left. Hogan throwing quickly. That is... Wow, that's caught. Nice throw. And nice catch. John J. Kirkland dropped touchdown last week. Nice throw there for Hogan, and Kirkland makes the catch. So 1st and 10 from the 30. Hogan in shotgun back to his right. Hogan hands off. Robbins left side, not much. He'll gain about a yard. So 2nd and 9. Here for the Brahmas, trailing by 6 with 13 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first half. So 2nd and 9 from the 29. Hogan pressured. Hogan over the middle. That is caught for a first down. What a throw to Hogan. From Hogan to Justin Smith. He had a defender in his face and got drilled. But a really nice throw to Justin Smith for a first down. That's a really good play. So 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Hogan in shotgun back to his left. We'll hand this off. And here's Corbin breaking a tackle. And he'll gain about 5. This is a really good looking Brahmas drive. They try to get in the end zone for the first time in 3 weeks. So 2nd and 5. Seven-play, 49-yard drive so far for San Antonio. Hogan, another handoff. Here's Corbin for a first down. And Corbin going to gain 6 and move the sticks. 1st and goal here for the Brahmas. Moving the ball really effectively on this drive. Brahmas have not scored a touchdown in over 10 quarters of play. Their last touchdown came in week 4 against the Defenders in the third quarter. First and goal from the 7. They'll just get the snap off. Hogan throws to the outside. It's tipped at the line and incomplete. Trying to find the tight end, Alize Mack. Mack's probably get a touchdown if that's a good throw. Or not necessarily a good throw, but that's not on Hogan. Just gets knocked down at the line. So it's second and goal, 10:35 to go in the first half. Hogan in shotgun, Corbin to his right. From the 7, Hogan looks to throw. Hogan steps up in the pocket, throws to the end zone, caught for a touchdown. Alize Mack with the Brahmas' first touchdown in 3 weeks. And the Brahmas tie this game at 6. Boy, did they need that. I don't know if I've ever seen a team need a touchdown as badly as the Brahmas did. Kevin Hogan with a 7-yard touchdown pass to Alize Mack for the touchdown. And the Brahmas with 6 points here. That matches their total from the previous 2 weeks combined. And a touchdown there for the Brahmas. Brahmas going to line up to go for 1. And we got a really interesting formation here. We got lineman out on the left side with receiver behind him. And now that receiver is going to come in motion. Hogan is now going to throw it to a different receiver, and he drops it. John Trey Kirkland dropped a touchdown last week. This one is dropped as well. Who, again, had a sure conversion. There was a flag down. But it was an illegal formation on the conversion attempt, so it's declined and it's just no good. So the game stays tied at 6. With the Brahmas' first touchdown in 3 weeks. And they get on the board, tie this game with about 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. It is their first touchdown in 10 quarters. Hold on 1 second. So far, results in the poll, 60% of you guys said the Brahmas will win, 40% have the Defenders. Be sure to vote if you guys have not already done so. But we wait for them to come back. We're now tied at 6 with 10:19 to go in the first half. After that drive, the Brahmas now outgaining the Defenders 130 to 96. So they're back from commercial. The Brahmas kick this off, and the defenders get the ball back for their third possession. The kick can be brought out by Chris Rowland. Takes a big hit, and the ball is free. It's scooped up by the Brahmas, and they've got it going the other way. It's returned to the 12-yard line, and a big play by the Brahmas special teams. Wow. Talk about a huge turn of events there for the Brahmas. The touchdown and now a fumble. And they've got it going the other way at the 12-yard line. Yeah, that is definitely a fumble. A big hit knocks the ball free. It's scooped up by the Brahmas, return to the 12-yard line. Wow. Maybe the Brahmas just need to play the defenders every week. So the Brahmas offense right back on the field at the 12-yard line. Great starting field position. From the 12, Hogan will look to throw to the outside, drop by Corbin, incomplete. Kevin Hogan, 7 of 10 for 97 yards and a touchdown. Hogan in shotgun back to his right. Hogan going to keep this in the option, and he'll just dive down at the line of scrimmage. So it's 3rd and 10. If you're the Brahmas, you really don't want to go and just settle for 3 right here. I mean, you would still take the lead, but you obviously want to end this drive in a touchdown. 3rd and 10. Hogan in shotgun with the back to his left. Ball still on the 12-yard line. Hogan looks to throw. Hogan pressured. Underneath it, it's caught by a receiver wide open. Gets a block downfield. Dives towards the first down. And they're going to give it to him. First down, Brahmas. Great throw from Kevin Hogan. Again, while he's pressured. Oh, that's right at the line again. I think he got a first down right there. So 1st and goal, Brahmas. Hogan in shotgun back to his right. Hogan hands off left side. And that's very close. They're going to say he's down just short. Aiden Robbins taken down inside the 1. Yeah, he's down. So 2nd and goal from the 1. They're going to come under center here for this play. Robbins remains the back. Hogan under center. He's going to hand off. Robbins met in the backfield. Drop for a loss. Defenders were ready for that one. And it's 3rd and goal. The defenders had a ton of guys in the backfield there. Definitely prepared for the run play there. Defenders 41 tackles for loss. That's most in the UFL. 3rd and goal from the 4. Hogan to the outside. That is incomplete. Through the hands of the new addition to the team, D. Anderson. They traded for earlier this week. They traded corner Darius Phillips to the Showboats for D. Anderson. Try to find him on a fade there. but it goes through his hands and incomplete. So it's now 4th and goal. The defender's defense did a great job forcing a Brahmas field goal try. Tristan Vizcaino for a 22-yard field goal. And centered in the field. And the kick right down the middle. So the Brahmas missed the opportunity to score a touchdown there. But they take their first win of the day. It is now 9-6. And they have officially scored more points this week than they have scored in the last 2 weeks combined. Hold on 1 second. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Defender's going to make sure they don't fumble the kickoff this time. So far, results in poll, still 60% of you guys said the Brahmas win, 40% have said the Defenders. Be sure to vote if you have not already done so. UFL MVP race entering this week. It is definitely going to be Bryce Perkins, the favorite. Tayamo's been good, but Perkins is just on another level. Plus, Perkins has the head-to-head win from last week. Definitely think Bryce Perkins is the MVP right now. The defenders will get the ball back. They'll try not to fumble the kickoff this time. The kick is away, will be returned from about the 10. And on the return, it's returned to the 28-yard line without fumbling. Abram Smith actually returned that kick. Haven't really seen him in the backfield at all today. It's been all Deion Jackson. We've only seen him as a kick returner. Actually, right as I said that, Abram Smith comes onto the field. So 1st and 10 from 28. Tiamu in shotgun, Abram Smith to his right. Tiamu off the pump fake. Gonna roll to his right. And Tiamu is dragged down, but able to get a throw off Before he hits the ground, it's going to be incomplete. Great job to avoid a sack. Oh, they're going to drop a flag here for grounding. It's a 10-yard penalty and a loss of down. Let's see. Was Toyama outside the pocket? Oh, yeah, definitely. Maybe because the ball didn't go past the line of scrimmage? That's probably it. Yeah, it's because it didn't go past the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 21. Toyama looks to throw, has time, looks like he wanted to go deep, will zip one over the middle of the field that is caught to the 31-yard line. A nice throw and catch for the defenders. But it's still going to be well short of a first down. Antonio makes the catch, playing in San Antonio. How about that? Number 13 for the defenders. So it's 3rd and 9. Defenders 0 for 2 on 3rd down. There's another 3rd and long. From their own 30, Toyama looks to throw. Underneath, that is going to be caught. No, dropped. Trying to get it to Antonio again. But this one's dropped and incomplete. And would have been well short of a first down anyway. So it's 4th and 9. The Brahmas defense got to stop, and the defenders forced to punt it away. So the defenders punted away. Stevenson from his own 20. And on the return, Marcus Stevenson dancing around. It's going to be out of bounds at the 25. And that is where the Brahmas offense will take over with 4:19 to go here in the first half. But the Brahmas up 9-6, leading in this game, very surprisingly. And their offense back onto the field, back-to-back scoring drives. So the last drive they were practically gifted points with where they started. Hold on 1 second. So we wait for them to come back from commercial. The Brahmas get the ball back with 4:19 to go in the first half. And leading 9-6. Get the ball on their own 25. After a 46-yard punt and a 5-yard return. So they're back from commercial. The Brahmas get the ball back. Next, spotted their own 24. Hogan in shotgun back to his left. They'll go to the ground. Here's Corbin bouncing outside. Corbin lost of space. Just Sean Corbin into the secondary. And he's taken down near midfield. Big run for Corbin. He gains about 25 yards. And a first down for the Brahmas. First and 10. Hogan throwing outside low and incomplete. Looking for Justin Smith, who was open, but just missed him. Throw ends up a little bit short. So second and 10. There's a handoff up the middle for Corbin, and this time not much. Maybe a yard. So it's third and 9. With 3 minutes to go in the first half. Hogan in shotgun, back to his left. Play clock winding down. They'll get the snap off. Hogan looks to throw. Has time. Now pressured. Hogan going to try to run for this. He's got space. And he's got a first down. Hogan gains 10 on the scramble. Needed 9. And a first down for the Brahmas. Brahmas do have to run a play before the 2-minute warning. And here's a reverse to Marquez Stevenson. Going to try to turn the corner to the outside. Unable to do so. He shoved it bounds for a loss of 4. That also brings us to the 2-minute warning here in the first half. Minute 58 to go to be exact. But the Brahmas leading 9-6. With football on the defenders' 45. Plus they get the ball to start the second half. So in a pretty good spot. So we wait for them to come back from commercial here at the 2-minute warning. So far, results in the poll, 60% of you guys said the Brahmas win, 40% have said the defenders. Be sure to vote if you guys have not already done so. My original prediction before the game was 30-9, I believe, but the defenders, that is, but Brahmas, they've looked pretty good. But so far, the Brahmas actually outgaining the defenders 167-108. And 107 of those yards come from Kevin Hogan. Actually, more than that. He's got 107 passing yards plus 21 rushing yards. But he's had a nice game. We got 2 minutes left in the first half. I believe both teams have all 3 timeouts as well. So it's 2nd and 14 here for the Brahmas. Let's see. Yeah, both teams do have all 3 timeouts. Both teams still have their challenge as well. So it's 2nd and 14. From the defender 45. Hogan in shotgun back to his left. Minute 58 to go. Hogan looks to throw, has time. Hogan throwing to the outside that is going to be caught. Will stay inbounds. And that's not going to stop the clock either because he didn't get a first down. The clock continues to run. It'll be 3rd and roughly 6. And now the clock has stopped for some reason. Minute 43 to go. Not sure why. Actually, we got the defenders calling their first timeout. So minute 45 left on the clock here in the first half. The defenders seem to be looking to get a stop here, trying to get the ball back. Put some points together here before the half. Brahmas do get the ball to start the second half, by the way. So it's 3rd and 6. Hogan in shotgun back to his left. From the defenders 37. Hogan throws to the outside that is caught by Kirkland, although he's taken down well short of a first down. Only got a yard. The defenders call a timeout. That's the second timeout for the defenders. Stops the clock with a minute 36 to go. And let's see what the Brahmas go with here. You're at like the 36, so this is going to be a long field goal, though. I think you might want to try it. You don't want to give the defenders the ball in great field position if you miss it, but you're at the 36, that'd be a 53-yard field goal? Yeah, 53-yard field goal. So I definitely think you can try it. The Brahmas kicker, he's only made from 33 this year, although he's only attempted 3 field goals. Let me see if I can find their kicker's career long. He's got some NFL experience, and his longest NFL field goal is 47. And from his time in college, his career long there was 44. So his career long is 47, from what I can see, unless he's played in any other spring league or whatever. Hold on one second. We wait for them to come back from commercial. Yeah, from what I can find, his career long is 47. So this would definitely be further than the career long by 6 yards, but you might want to see if you can try it. We'll have to see what the Brahmas do. They had a situation before where they could have potentially attempted a long field goal, opted to punt instead. I can definitely understand punting here for the Brahmas, try to pin the defenders back deep. But this time, it is the field goal unit on the field here for the Brahmas. Tristan Vizcaino to attempt a 53-yard field goal, from what I can find, would be a career long. Actually going to mark a 54-yarder. So it'll officially be a 54-yard field goal. Yes, NFL career long 47-yarder, which came in the beginning of 2021. This one, a 54-yarder on the way, just inside. The right upright actually doinks in. And the kick is good. The Brahmas extend their lead. It is now 12-6. A new career long for Vizcaino. And the Brahmas now up 6. It looked like it might have gone wide right, but it curls just back inside. And doinks in off the right upright. But the defender is going to get the ball back here. The defenders get the ball back. Minute 33 to go in the first half. And they'll have a timeout. Brahmas still have all 3. So the kick going to be returned from the 5. And on the return, not a great one. To the 24, flag comes in. And we'll have to see what Jordan Teamu and the defenders' offense can do. Jaden Mickens with the return. We got a double team block, an illegal double team block against the defenders. So that'll back them up even further. And now, let's see how aggressive they want to get. Minute 26 to go. So they're going to be backed up deep inside their own territory. They're actually starting inside their own 10 at the 9-yard line. They'll start off with a run. Deion Jackson up the middle for about 6 yards. It's a solid run, but we'll see what they try to do from here. So it's 2nd and 4. The clock continues to run. Now, minute 10 to go. The defenders do get to the line somewhat quickly to try to run another play. Teamu in shotgun back to his left. Has time to throw here, and zips one downfield that is low and bounces to his receiver. Mickens and incomplete. So 3rd and 4, and maybe the Brahmas can get the ball back here before halftime. There's definitely a chance. They got all 3 timeouts left. So Teamu pump fakes, going to try to run here, but he's taken down after a gain of just a yard. And if I'm the Brahmas, I call a timeout right here. And they do. Timeout with 47 seconds left in this first half, and the Brahmas can get the ball back. So let's see what the Brahmas can do here. It's 4th and 3 for the defenders. The defender is going to punt it away from still deep inside their own territory. Shannon Harris is over talking to the officials about something. Oh, we got a challenge here for the defenders. And the defender's going to challenge. They think Cornell Powell got held, number 14. Well, actually, he wants pass interference, but there's no interference because he didn't throw the ball. Alright, so the challenge is unsuccessful. The timeout is lost for DC. They're not out of timeouts. I don't like that challenge. It's just not worth it here in this situation. Shannon Harris is still upset about that over on the sideline. But I don't really think it's worth challenging in that situation. I mean, save it for a more important time. Because now that you lost the challenge, you don't have anything left. Brahmas, they went 1-for-1 on challenges so far, so they've still got one. The punt is away to the 35-yard line, and on the return here, Stevenson get a good return. Marquez Stevenson turns the corner inside DC territory. Stevenson still going to the 36-yard line. A big return from Marquez Stevenson. Sets the Brahmas up with excellent starting field position. 35 seconds left in the first half. The Brahmas with 2 timeouts. They got a great opportunity. Try to get even more points here before halftime. Actually, we got a fumble at some point. No, he was down first. But the ball did come out. But the Brahmas now with the football. Pretty much already in field goal range. Their kicker just hit from this spot. Hogan looks to throw. Throwing outside, that is caught. That's not good. It's going to be taken down inbounds. John Shea Kirkland makes the catch for getting just 2. Now the clock continues to run. 20 seconds left in the first half. A lot of time coming off the clock here. Second and 8 from the 35. Actually, second and 9. Hogan looks to throw, pressured. Hogan spins out of it, runs into zone 1, loses the ball. Ball is still free. It's scooped up by DC. They're going to return this all the way. Wow. That is a huge, huge missed opportunity for the Brahmas. Defenders with a scoop and score touchdown. Anthony Hines returns it as the first half comes to a close. Wow. The Brahmas do look like they're going to challenge. But Hogan just drops the ball after he runs into his own lineman. And for the moment, the game is tied at 12. Hogan ran into his left tackle. And the defender is able to take it the other way. That's insane. That is a huge missed opportunity. But see, it does appear as if the Brahmas are challenging. They're challenging that the defenders were offsides on the play. That's Let's see. I don't think so. He's saying 50 was offsides. That's how he got off the line so quick. I don't think so, though. Let's see. There is no penalty for offsides. The touchdown is good. And now both teams are out of challenges as we enter the second half. But a huge play for the defenders to end the first half. The guy timed up his jump perfectly to get off the ball. Beats the left tackle around the edge easily. And the defenders with a scoop and score as the first half hits 0. We're going to go for 2 here to try to take a 2-point lead into the half. Tayamu, threw a pick. A flag comes down. It's intercepted. And tackle is made pretty much there. Gets forced back into the end zone. Now, if you're the Brahmas, you just decline this, right? Yeah. It was a holding call against the defenders, which was a pretty obvious hold. I saw it just watching it live. But what a wild end to that first half. Definitely did not think this was the type of game we were getting, but definitely happy it's the type of game we're getting. I thought this game would be a blowout, but instead we got a very close game. 12-12 at the half. What a wild end of the first half between the defenders challenging, that not working out. Then the Brahmas get the ball back with a big punt return. They get the ball great field position, thinking like they're pretty much already right there. In field goal range. Just for Hogan to run into his own left tackle. Fumble the ball, and it gets returned the other way for a touchdown. But I'm going to go take a quick break as I do halftime of every game I stream. I'll be back in a couple minutes for the second half. Alright, I'm back. So the Brahmas and Defenders tied at 12 here at the half. Definitely a more entertaining game so far than I expected. I did not expect this to be a very good game. I'd be a blowout. I thought it'd be like 30-9. That was my score prediction. But as far as an updated score prediction goes, it is definitely possible the Brahmas win this game. But I'm going to stick with the Defenders. It has been kind of a chaotic first half, but I think when this game, when it settles down a little bit and becomes less just insane, I think it'll be more of a. We'll start to see that the Defenders are actually the better team. I mean, I still think the Brahmas will keep this game very interesting. And this is still a game that can definitely go either way, but I think we're going to see the Defenders control the second half a little bit more. I've got the Defenders. Let's see. Let's go Defenders by a score of. Let's see. We'll give them a touchdown. We'll give them a 2-point conversion this time, so that'll put them at 20. We'll say a field goal and another touchdown. That's what? Without a conversion. That's 14-17. That's 29. We'll go Defenders 29 to Brahmas 29-21. Yeah, let's go 29-21, 20 something like that. 29-21. But I mean, still definitely a game that can go either way. Give me 1 second, just checking something real quick. But as far as stats from the first half go, let's get to that real quick. We'll start off with player stats for the Defenders. Jordan Ta'amu, 10 of 15 for 102 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions. On the ground for the Defenders, Deion Jackson, 4 carries, 13 yards, and a touchdown. Jordan Ta'amu, 2 carries for 7 yards. Then receiving for the Defenders, Moore McKinney, 2 catches, 37 yards. Who is that? Oh, that's Briley Moore. I don't know why it says McKinney there. Apparently he's got Moore McKinney as his name, although it's just Moore in his jersey. But Moore, 2 catches, 37 yards. Cornell Powell, 3 for 26. Jaden Mickens, 3 for 22. Antonio, 1 for 12. Jackson, 1 for 5. Rolling with just 1 target, but did not come up with the catch. Then for the Brahmas, a great first half for Kevin Hogan, 11 of 16 for 117 yards and a touchdown. On the ground for the Brahmas, Deshaun Corbin, 5 carries, 37 yards. Kevin Hogan, 3 carries, 21 yards. And Aiden Robbins, 5 carries for 8 yards. Then receiving, Justin Smith, 2 catches, 32 yards. Deshaun Corbin, 1 catch, 32 yards. I'm not sure who this guy is. 17. Steven Stoanos? Probably said that wrong. 2 catches, 17 yards. Alize Mack, 2 catches, 16 yards and a touchdown. John Trey Kirkland, 3 catches, 10 yards. Henry, 1 catch, 10. And D. Anderson, no catches on a target. Then, team stats from the first half. The Brahmas are outgaining the defenders 179 to 115, averaging more yards per play at 5.8 to 5.2. The Brahmas, they've been the better team through the air and on the ground. More passing yards 117 to 95, and more rushing yards 62 to 20. Both teams turned the ball over once, both of them a lost fumble. And time possession in the first half, 18:07 for the Brahmas, 11:53 for the defenders. But I definitely am interested to see if the fumble right before halftime ends up hurting the Brahmas. There's definitely a chance it could, because you're taking a nearly guaranteed 3 points. Might not be guaranteed 3 points, but probably 3 points for the Brahmas. So say it would be 15-6 instead of 12-12. So potential 9-point swing. But we still wait for them to start the second half. I feel like halftime's usually not this long. But the second half should start within the next couple seconds, so let me switch this. Brahmas do get the ball to start the second half. They were in a great spot, potentially extending the lead even further. I mean, still in a good spot, getting the ball in a tie game, coming out of the half, but definitely could have been in a better spot. They go back to the fumble for Kevin Hogan. There was 35 seconds left in the first. Actually, that's not the fumble. But they go back to the drive for the Brahmas. They had 35 seconds. They started it with a quick out route, John Shea Kirkland. But then they really, with a lot of time off the clock, he caught it with about 30 seconds left. They didn't snap the ball for the next play until there was, let's see, until there was 9 seconds left in the first half. Then Hogan runs into his own lineman, fumbles, can't dive on it, and it got returned the other way. That might have been the worst possible ending to the first half for the Brahmas. But the Brahmas do get the ball to start the second half. They were pretty good offensively in the first half, obviously outside of that final play. The game tied at 12. So far, results in the poll 50-50. Be sure to vote if you guys have not already done so. So the defenders kick off, and the Brahmas will get the ball. When he returned from the 7-yard line, here's Stevenson with a big punt return just a minute ago, or at the end of the first half, actually. And he'll return it to the 31. A solid return. Wonder what average starting field position is in the UFL. Probably around there. I can't imagine it being much better than the 30. Let's look it up real quick. The average starting field position in the UFL is about the 36-yard line. I think that might have been last year. Yeah. 36-yard line, but so probably pretty similar this year. Robbins with a first down run gains 4 for the Brahmas. So 2nd and 6. Hogan in shotgun back to his left. Hogan throwing outside. That is caught by Kirkland, wide open, and Kirkland to the 48-yard line. Nice throw and catch. Kirkland gains 17 and a first down for the Brahmas. Kirkland definitely not having the season he had last year, even the year before, when he was with the Roughnecks in the XFL. But still a pretty solid year. 4 catches, 23 yards today. 1st and 10 from the 48. Hogan in shotgun back to his right. Hogan off the play fake, throws one downfield that is incomplete, trying to find Kirkland again. Taking a shot downfield, Joseph in coverage. Looked like he was looking for a back shoulder, but he had to throw it over the top. So 2nd and 10 from the 48. Hogan in shotgun. Robbins to his left. Hogan to throw. Has time. To the outside, that is dropped by Mack and incomplete. Had it for a second. But a nice defensive play to break that pass up. Alizé Mack, one of 3 former Notre Dame players in the UFL. 3, actually, total increased from 2 after the Renegades signed Tony Jones Jr. on Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember now. 3rd and 10. Hogan looks to throw. Hogan throwing to the outside. Caught by Kirkland. Slips a tackle. And Kirkland is going to get close to a first down. It's going to be 4th and 2. And I think you go for this if you're the Brahmas. Get aggressive early in the second half. I'm going for this. Let's see what Peyton Pardee and the Brahmas want to do. I go for it. Looks like they will go for it. Pardee going to call a play. It's going to be 4th and 2. Here for the Brahmas. I like the aggressive call early in the second half. Hogan in shotgun back to his right. It's 4th and 2 from the defender's 44. Hogan rolls right, throws right, call for a first down. Tripped up the 30-yard line, a nice catch and run for the Brahmas. And they move the sticks on 4th and short. We've seen a lot of teams run this play. It's a triple option. You can hand it off inside, your quarterback can keep it and run it, or your quarterback can throw it to the tight end. The Panthers do that a lot. The defenders do it a lot. We see the Brahmas do it here. Now, first down. Now, it's just such a hard play to defend because there's so many options you can go with. So, first down on the 30-yard line. Hogan will look to throw. Hogan, pocket collapsing, going to go down for a sack. Back at the 38-yard line. Time runs out. Hogan can't find anywhere to go with the ball. I believe that's the first sack of the day for this DC defense. So 2nd and 17 after a 7-yard loss on first down. That was actually the second sack for the defenders. There's a draw play, and that's also going nowhere. Flag does come flying in, though. Deshaun Corbin lost about a yard if it stands. Oh, boy, this is a big penalty. It's a face mask against the defenders. That is a big penalty because you have the Brahmas at like 3rd and 18. But the penalty is 15 yards and an automatic first down. He grabs like the side of his helmet. I think he got the face mask there as well, but that's a big penalty. Robertson number 50 for the defenders with the penalty. That's a big one. Puts the ball on the defender's 23-yard line and gives the Brahmas an automatic first down. Hogan hands off. Corbin breaking free. Deshaun Corbin into the secondary, first down to the 9-yard line. A nice run for Deshaun Corbin. First and goal from the 9. Brahmas 1 touchdown and 2 red zone trips. The other one they kicked a field goal. Hogan on the option, going to cut up the middle. Kevin Hogan will dive down at the 2-yard line. 7 yards for Hogan on the option. Hogan definitely not known for his mobility, but can run. We've seen that a few times today. So 2nd and goal from the 2. Kevin Hogan today has played a really good game. 14 of 21, 152 yards, and also 27 yards on the ground. 2nd and goal from the 3. Hogan in shotgun, back to his right. Hogan hands off. Corbin up the middle, stuffed at the line. Maybe gets a yard, but not much space. And we got an injured Brahma down on the field. One of their offensive linemen. Hopefully he's okay. Let's tackle Derek Kelly, the injured player. Obviously, hopefully he's okay. And they go to commercial break. And give me 1 second, just want to check something real quick. But we wait for them to come back from a commercial. Obviously, hopefully the injured player is okay. Alright, now they're back from commercial after the injury timeout. Obviously, hopefully he's okay. The game tied at 12. We got a new right tackle into the game for the Brahmas. Third and goal. 11 plays, 67-yard drive so far for the Brahmas. Third and goal from the 2. Hogan in shotgun, Corbin to his right. Hogan looks to throw, has plenty of time. Hogan throws towards the end zone, call for a touchdown. The Brahmas retake the lead. A 2-yard touchdown to the tight end Steven Stewanos. I still don't think I'm saying that correctly. But the Brahmas go right down the field in the first drive of the second half. They retake the lead. What a drive. I think Hogan had space to run that if he wanted to as well. But he had all day to throw. And the Brahmas can go for 1, try to go up 7. They're going to go for 1. Hogan under center. Corbin is the back. They're going to throw it out to Kirkland. That is incomplete. They try to set up the screen. But the conversion is no good. We have not seen a successful conversion yet today. For either side. But a touchdown for the Brahmas. It is now 18-12. After a great drive to start the second half. Hogan with his second touchdown of the day. He's now up to 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. And that drive for the Brahmas, a really good drive. 11 plays, 69 yards, 6:50 off the clock. And they take the lead. 18-12 with 8:10 to go in the third quarter. So the defender is going to get the ball for their first possession here in the second half. I almost just said second quarter. So far, results in the poll 50-50. Be sure to vote if you guys have not already done so. So we wait for them to come back from commercial. Brahmas up 6. I really think the Brahmas would love to play the defenders every week. Because they actually look like a competent football team when they play them, but can't do it against anybody else. It really makes no sense. And the Brahmas, they've scored on 4 of their 6 drives so far today. They're well above their season averages in everything. Points per game, yards per game, passing yards per game, way above all 3 of those. So the Brahmas kick this off. Chris Rowland on the kick return, and he'll get it to the 30-yard line, somewhere around there, before he stopped. So the defenders get the ball for the first time here in the second half. They'll start at their own 29, where it's officially spotted. Toyama in shotgun, Jackson to his right. They'll go to the ground. Jackson up the middle has space. And Deion Jackson still going. Fighting for more yards. Gets a push from the offensive line. 15 yards for Jackson on first down. Halfway through the third quarter, 7.5 to go. They fake the toss left and hand it off to the right side. And Jackson gains another 3 here on this play. Makes it 2nd and 7. Next mark is 2nd and 8. Here for the defenders. Toyama in shotgun back to his right. There's a run for the third straight play. Jackson up the middle for 3 yards. Make it 3rd and 4. He definitely got 3 yards on first down. They just only marked as 2, but he definitely got 3. Abram Smith now checks into the game at running back. I've not seen him much at all. Really thought he'd be a bigger part of the defenders' offense this year. So 3rd and 4. Here for the defenders. Ball in exactly midfield. Toyama in shotgun back to his left. He's going to look to throw. Toyama has time. Over the middle, wide open receiver at the 30-yard line. There's Rowan with his first catch. Although we do have a flag that comes in. And this one might be coming back. This is going to come back. We get an offensive face mask against one of the defender's offensive linemen. And this backs him up quite a bit. Obviously, it's a 15-yard penalty, and it's now 3rd and 19. Backs them up to their own 35-yard line. It's on their left guard. And that's a big penalty. Not only does it wipe off a 3rd down conversion, but it wipes off a big pass play. They gain nearly 20 yards on that one. The 6th defender penalty in this game. 3rd and 19, sorry. Only a 3-man rush here for the Brahmas. Toyama checks down. Abram Smith gets it back to the 47, but still well short of a first down. Looks like DC is going to be forced to punt. So the punt unit comes on for the defenders. Marquez Stevenson had a big return right before halftime. He's back deep to receive. Stevenson from the 12. Going to try to reverse the field. He's going backwards, and he's going to get taken down back at the 8-yard line. So a loss of 4 on the return. And the Brahmas backed up deep inside their own territory at their own 8-yard line to start their second drive here this half. So the Brahmas backed up deep, but playing pretty well. I mean, the defense just forced a punt. That is the 4th punt of the day for the defenders. And the Brahmas defense actually played pretty well. The defenders, they've only scored one touchdown. Well, technically two, but one was taken back due to a penalty. But every other drive, the Brahmas have forced punts, including 3 straight drives. Brahmas defense playing pretty well. Not something people have said very often in this season. I mean, the Brahmas defense is terrible. Offense isn't much better, but Brahmas actually playing really well in this game, especially for their recent standards. So we wait for them to come back from commercial. Brahmas with the ball. Backed up deep inside their own territory. Spotted on their own 8-yard line after a good punt. Stevenson also didn't help himself by going backwards on the return. But it was a good punt. So they're back from commercial. From their own 8-yard line, Hogan gonna hand off Corbin right side, and he's gonna dive forward for about a yard. Deshaun Corbin's played a pretty solid game. About 50 rushing yards, another 35 to 40 as a receiver. Had a pretty nice game. So 2nd and 8, they actually give Corbin 2 on first down. Pretty balanced play selection for the Brahmas. 24 pass plays, 21 run plays. Hogan to throw here, outside, high throw, hauled in by Stevenson, but he's taken down right at the point of the catch. Actually, no, did not catch it. Incomplete. So 3rd and 8. So 3rd and 8 from the 10. Big opportunity for the defender's defense. Play clock's at 0. And we got a delay of game here for the Brahmas. Going to back themselves up even further. To the 5-yard line. This is really a big opportunity for this DC defense. Force a punt from deep inside the Brahmas territory. Get the ball pretty good field position. That could be a big opportunity here for the defenders. If I'm DC, I sit back, play some coverage right here. 3rd and 13. I'm just making sure I force a punt. Is the play clock winding down again? Yet now the Brahmas going to call a timeout. I don't know what the point of that is. One, how do you mismanage the play clock this badly both times? But now they call a timeout. I really don't like that. Why are you calling timeout? it's it saves them 2.5 yards from the 5 back to the 2.5, but I don't like that timeout for the Brahmas at all. Just take the penalty, get back to another 2.5 yards, or even a better solution, stop mismanaging the play clock. So 3rd and 13, defenders blitz. Hogan pressure, gets rid of the ball, takes a shot downfield, it's out of bounds and incomplete. So the defenders' defense does get a stop. The Brahmas forced to punt it away from deep inside their own territory. So the defenders' defense does their job. They did get aggressive, try to get a sack on Hogan in the end zone. Nearly did it, but he's able to get a throw off. But Brad Wing punted away from inside his own end zone. Wing gets it away cleanly. And this is a pretty good kick to the 42-yard line. The Brahmas don't have anyone out there. Mickens on the return down the sideline. Mickens out of bounds near the 25. What a return for Jaden Mickens and the defenders. A big return sets the defenders up with great field position. Returns are from about the 43. Zone 43 to about the 29. Great return for Jaden Mickens. It wasn't a terrible punt from Brad Wing. I feel like it had some pretty good hang time on there. Pretty good distance. The Brahmas just couldn't get anyone down there. So 1st and 10 from the 28 here for the defenders. Tiamu hands off. Abram Smith breaks a tackle and gains 8 on 1st down at the 20-yard line. Really haven't seen much of him today. He's returned kicks, but seen very limited offensive snaps. So he stays into the game at running back here. 2nd and 1. Same play here for the defender. Smith bounces outside of the left. This time not as much. He'll have a 1st down. A flag comes in. I wonder if Smith's maybe battling an injury. That's why he's limited today. Because it definitely seems like he usually plays more. Defenders actually get backed up because of a penalty. And the only thing is, Smith was actually listed as the backup running back on the depth chart. When they released it this week, it was Deion Jackson, who's back in the game here. Tayama takes a shot down the field, caught, wide open receiver, Cornell Powell, touchdown DC. A big touchdown there for the defenders, ties this game at 18. Minute 44 to go in the 3rd quarter. They tie it at 18. Powell was wide open for a 29-yard touchdown. So the defenders will go for 1 to try to take a 1-point lead. They bring in an extra lineman. So from the 2, Tayamu in the pistol will hand off. Jackson left side, and Deion Jackson is in for the conversion. 19-18, the defenders take their first lead of the day. With a minute 44 to go in the 3rd quarter. And the defenders finally lead in this game. The biggest play of the day for the DC offense, who hasn't played their best game. But they now lead 19-18. And after that one, Jordan Ta'amu now 12 of 17 for 143 yards and a touchdown. He's definitely been more accurate than he has been in the past. I mean, he's barely completing over 50% of his passes on the season. But today he's completing over 70%, I think that said. Yeah, 70.6%. So a much better performance. Hold on 1 second. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Alright, right as I said that, they got back, actually. So the defenders take their first lead of the day, 19-18. Brahmas getting the ball back. Alright, we still wait for them to come back from commercial. No, sorry. To actually kick off. I don't know why I just said commercial. Alright. We're set to kick off. Brahmas getting the ball back, trailing for the first time today. They've been tied, but the Brahmas have never trailed until this point. Here's Stevenson on the return. Got space in the return. Marquez Stevenson. Actually, that's Deshaun Corbin. The 35-yard line. Nice return there. But a good kick return for Deshaun Corbin. That's the Brahmas up to pretty good field position at 35. And let's see how this Brahmas offense responds. They've been playing pretty well. Let's see what they can do here on this drive. So 1st and 10 from the 35. Hogan throws outside, caught by John Trey Kirkland. And Kirkland gets a block and gains about 8. I believe that's his 5th catch, maybe his 6th. Can't remember now. But Kirkland gains 7 on the screen, make it 2nd and 3. So 2nd and 3. Hogan throws, knocked away, incomplete. He had an open receiver, But a nice job to knock it down at the line. So 3rd and 3, Brahmas 3 of 8 on 3rd down. Hogan in shotgun back to his right. A look to throw. Hogan going to try to run for it himself, and he will slide very close to the marker. Let's see. It's where he starts to slide. It was a weird half dive, half slide. Hogan says he dove, but he's like exactly horizontal, whether it's a dive or a slide. Hogan says he doesn't slide. But it seems like they're going to give him a first down. Shannon Harris doesn't like the call, but it does seem like that's the right one. Although, remember, both teams are out of challenges, so Shannon Harris can't challenge even if he wanted to. But that's also the end of the 3rd quarter. I feel like that 3rd quarter went really quickly. About 40 minutes? Maybe not. I don't know. I thought that 3rd quarter went quick. Felt that way to me. But we enter the 4th quarter. Defenders up 19-18. But the Brahmas with the football, going on a 3-play, 11-yard drive. And it does appear as if they gave Hogan the first down. Brahmas outgaining the defenders 246 to 185. The defenders having more yards per play at 6.6 to 5.2. But we got 1 quarter left in this game. Brahmas looking for their 2nd win of the season, and that would be really strange because both would be against the defenders, but maybe the Brahmas just have their number. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial to start the 4th quarter. So they're back from commercial. Brahmas with the football, down by a point. 19-18. Wade Phillips is in the building for the Brahmas, although he's stepped down or taken a leave of absence. I forget what the exact wording is. From coaching due to health issues. Although he can step back into the head coach role whenever he decides to end his leave of absence. But obviously, we hope Wade Phillips is okay. Here's handoff left side. On the first play of the fourth quarter, forgetting about 3. Aiden Robbins with the carry. Brahmas haven't been great running the ball, but they've been solid. Actually gave Robbins 2 on that play. But the Brahmas as a team, 93 rushing yards, 4.4 yards a carry. Not great, not terrible. Definitely could be better. But you could also have no run game. So 2nd and 8. Hogan in shotgun, back to his right. Hogan off play action, pressured. Hogan avoids a sack. Now dumps this off to his tight end in the flat. He's got space after the catch. Still going inside the 40, taken down at the 38. A nice catch and run. Stoyanos makes the catch. I still don't think I'm saying his name right. Mainly because I just say it the same way every time. But a nice catch and run. Also, a really nice play from Hogan. Defender jumps in the air because that's what they're taught to do. Try to knock the ball down. But Hogan avoids him and able to deliver an accurate throw to the flat. Nice job. So 1st and 10 here from the 39. Hogan in shotgun, back to his left. Hogan hands off right side. Robbins cuts up the middle for a gain of 5. Nice first down run. Second and 5 from the 35. Actually, it was a lot more like 2nd and 6 than 2nd and 5. But another run play here. Robbins tries to bounce outside, but he's swung down for a big loss. Loss of 5 on the play. Fisher with the tackle. And a big loss there for the Brahmas. Malik Fisher with the tackle for loss. Defenders tonight, 4 tackles for loss. 3rd and 10 from the 40. Hogan in shotgun, back to his left. A look to throw, and we got play blown dead. We got a flag that's down, and it's a false start against the Brahmas. So 3rd and 15. We had a clock issue here. There's 12:13 on the clock. Actually, that's what's supposed to be on the clock now. They got it right. 12:13 to go. 3rd and 15 for the Brahmas. Not in field goal range at the 45. Hogan looks to throw. Hogan dancing around, rolls to his left. Hogan throws downfield, incomplete, ended up short of his intended receiver. But he was open. Would have had a first down as well. Alize Mack was wide open, but Hogan missed him. I mean, it's a tough throw, rolling to his weak side, rolling left. But one that should probably be made, or at least more accurately than that. But the Brahmas, with a pretty good drive, though, it ends up stalling after the penalties. And this is a good punt. Going to bounce to Mickens at the 3-yard line. Flag comes in. And multiple, actually. It's returned to the 10. Oh, this is going to be an illegal touching of some sort. Because Mickens signaled fair catch. Although he's trying to say he didn't. The defenders are saying he signaled down like he was waving off, like not going to catch it, as opposed to fair catch. Yeah, definitely, he's waving like that. Yeah, fair catch signal is to go above his shoulder. So there is no penalty either way. The illegal fair catch or whatever that rule is, that's a strange rule, but also no holding. So it's just defenders get the ball at the 10-yard line. Not great field position, but let's see if the Brahmas can capitalize off this. They had a pretty good drive going before it got stopped. But the Brahmas end up going 8 plays, 20 yards before they're forced to punt. But let's see if the Brahmas defense can capitalize off this year. The defenders backed up deep inside their own territory. 11:21 to go in the fourth quarter. Brahmas are down by a point, but let's see if the Brahmas defense can get a stop, get the ball back with what should be pretty good field position. So they're back from commercial. Defenders up 19-18. 11:21 to go in the fourth quarter. The Brahmas have already had the ball for over 32 minutes in this game. That's crazy, and there's still 11 minutes left in this game. But the Brahmas, they lead in pretty much every category. Defenders lead on the scoreboard. First and 10 from the 10. Teamu hands off. Deion Jackson up the middle for 4 yards. Solid start to the drive for DC. Chris Rowland leads the UFL in receiving yards without a catch so far today. Brahma's done a really good job defending him. Here's Teamu throw to the outside. That is caught for a first down. Knocked him down to the 24-yard line. What a good catch and run for DC. took a big hit over on the sideline. And that guy who took the hit a little bit shaken up. Obviously, hopefully he's okay. But he's able to walk off the field. That's obviously good. Hopefully he's okay. Henry Black was the guy who put the big hit on him. So 1st and 10 from the 24. Now I'm going to take a shot. Down the sideline. Caught. Braylon Sanders down the sideline. He's going to take this all the way. Big play. Touchdown for the defenders. Braylon Sanders takes it all the way. A huge touchdown. And the defenders extend their lead. They're up by 7. With 10:17 to go. A 76-yard catch and run for Braylon Sanders. What a throw from Jordan Ta'amu. What a catch for Braylon Sanders. Sanders one-on-one on the outside. He wins in man coverage. Oh, the defender who was with him looked like he hurt his hamstring on that play. I was hopeful he's okay. That is also still a really good throw and catch. They haven't had a ton of downfield passing success, but a big play there, 76 yards. Jordan Ta'amu now at 229 yards and 2 touchdowns. It is the longest pass play of the season. And defender's going to go for 1. Does that make sense? Go for 1, you'd go up by 8. You're already up 7. You could get aggressive and go up 10 to make it a 2-score game. You could do that, but the defender's going to have to go for 1. I can really understand going 1, 2, or 3 in this situation. Ta'amu in the pistol, back behind him. Gonna hand off Jackson left side. Deion Jackson this time did not get it. We've seen them run the ball in the conversions a couple of times. This time Jackson goes nowhere. And it'll stay a 7-point game. But a big play for the defenders, a 76-yard touchdown. The longest pass play of the season in the UFL. And they extend their lead. It's still a 1-score game, though, 25-18. So still, Brahmas still very much in this game. It's a touchdown game, 7 points. And still plenty of time to go. 10 minutes, 17 seconds left in this game. Definitely still anyone's game. So we still wait for them to come back from commercial. A 7-point Defenders lead, but still plenty of time to go. Over 10 minutes left in this game. They go back to the touchdown for the Defenders. It's just a go route for Braylon Sanders. He's able to win and outrun the rest of the Brahmas defense. Also, great throw from Jordan Teamu. Teamu in the first half, 102 yards. In the second half, 127 yards on 4 pass attempts and 2 touchdowns. He's had a really nice game. Going to be returned here from about the 1-yard line for the Brahmas. Stevenson, this is Kirkland. They put so many guys back there to return kicks. But it's returned to the 35. Pretty good field position for the Brahmas. But we've seen Kirkland back there, Stevenson back there. We've seen Corbin back there. A bunch of different guys return kicks for the Brahmas. Kevin Hogan today for the Brahmas, 17 of 28, 174 yards, 2 interceptions. 2 touchdowns. That would have been bad if he threw 2 picks, but he's been pretty solid. Hasn't been amazing, but he's been pretty good. So 1st and 10 from the 35. Hogan throws over the middle. That is... Wow, that's caught. Tough catch there for Stevenson. What a catch. Gain of 8. Makes it 2nd and 2 for the Brahmas. Hogan in shotgun. Corbin to his left. 2nd and 2 from their own 43. The handoff, Corbin up the middle. Lots of space. Deshaun Corbin might take this all the way. Inside the 20. Inside the 10. He will score. What a response for the Brahmas. Deshaun Corbin, a big rushing touchdown. And the Brahmas are a 1-point conversion away from tying this game. What a run for Corbin. What an answer. 25-24 DC leads. Wow. It's a 67-yard touchdown for Deshaun Corbin. Wow, that is great blocking by the offensive line. With that hole, I think I can get 5, maybe 10 yards. But a great job up front for the Brahmas. Corbin does the rest. And a touchdown for the Brahmas. They're going to go for 2 to try to take the lead, as opposed to go for 1 and then tie. (25-24). Brahmas are already 0 for 2 on 1-point attempts today. Have not attempted a 2-point conversion yet. Hogan pressured very quickly. Hogan dropped for a sack. That play did not work for the Brahmas. Pressure very quickly for the Defenders' defense. And DC still leads by a point. But the Brahmas only down 1. After a 67-yard touchdown for Deshaun Corbin. What a game this has been. I did not expect this game to be this good. It's actually a 57-yard touchdown. I came into this game thinking we'd be lucky if it was anywhere close. We actually got a really good game. Deshaun Corbin, 9 carries, 109 yards, and a touchdown after that one. A 57-yard touchdown run. And he's also got a 32-yard catch. So that's nearly 150 scrimmage yards. 141. He has had a really good game. And the Brahmas offense having, well, probably their best game of the season. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial break. Now 9:27 to go in the game. That drive did not take long for the Brahmas. 2 plays, 65 yards, 50 seconds. A very quick answer. The defenders still lead, but only by a point. Let's see what happens here on this drive. This game has been wild. Definitely the best game of the year offensively for the Brahmas. Not only is it a season high in points, but they're just able to move the ball effectively through the air and on the ground. They've been good. QB comparison tonight: Te'amu 14 of 19, 222 and 229 and 2 touchdowns. Hogan 18 for 29, 182 and 2 touchdowns. Both quarterbacks playing pretty well. Really surprised how accurate and efficient Te'amu has been tonight. Not used to seeing that from him. The kick can be returned here for the defenders. And great kick coverage by the Brahmas. Takes him down to the 21-yard line. So let's see what the defenders can do here. 9:21 to go. Wonder if the attendance for tonight's game has been announced yet. Let me check real quick. No, not yet. First and 10 here for the defenders. Deion Jackson gets the carry up the middle, although for just 2 yards. The Brahmas in points versus the defenders. 24 points in each game. That's a total of 48 points in their 2 games. They have 47 points combined in the other 5 games. That is a wild stat. So 2nd and 8. Te'amu in shotgun back to his right. From the 23, Te'amu off play action throws over the middle that is caught. Cornell Powell to the 38-yard line. And a nice first down for the defenders. So we got 8:15 to go in this game. Defenders lead by 1. Te'amu in shotgun back to his left. Te'amu throws to the outside that is caught. And gain of about 6 there. For Moore. Bradley Moore having a nice game. 2nd and 4. Here for the defenders. Te'amu perfect 6 of 6 in the second half for 142 yards, or 48 yards and 2 scores. 2nd and 4. Te'amu hands off. Deion Jackson for 4 yards and a first down. Brahmas or 90 more rushing yards than the defenders, and only 57 of them came on that big play. But still, that is a big difference. Here's a throw over the middle. Moore again. Another big catch and run for the tight end. He's having a really nice game. Had a couple catches before, including a big one-handed catch, put the defenders down on like the 3-yard line. A couple more catches on this drive. He's had a nice game. Did a good job not to fumble there as well. We see tight ends fumble quite a bit, especially in a play like that. Moore, 4 catches, 60 yards in this game. Here's a handoff left side. Deion Jackson tries to turn the corner, but he's forced to bounds at the line. Maybe got a yard. Actually, that's not Jackson. That is, I'm not sure who that is. Number 28. I think that's the first time we've seen him in the game for DC. So it's 2nd and 9. 5:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Defenders up by 1. Tayamu on the option, throws to the outside. There's Chris Rowland, his first catch of the game. And Rowland gains 7. The clock continues to run, 5.5 minutes to go. Still time, but starting to become less and less for the Brahmas. Third and 2. Tayamu on the option, going to keep this time. And I think he's got enough for a first. Yeah, he does. Was Tayamu hurt after that one? It looked like he just signaled he wanted to come out of the game. That could be big. Yeah, Tayamu comes out of the game. We got a new quarterback in here for DC. He's going to throw it here, too. Moore makes the catch on the outside, breaks a tackle, cuts back inside. And 11 yards there for Moore. He's had a really good game. That's 76 receiving yards. But Jordan Tayamu over on the sideline. I'm not sure if he's hurt or what's going on. Here's a handoff inside. Abram Smith is going to gain about 5. But the new quarterback in for DC is DeLeo? I don't know if I'm going to say that correctly. It's Dieliello. Probably not DeLeo, but I'm not sure how to say that. I've heard the announcers say it before. I just don't remember how they said it. 2nd and 5. Here's an option play to the outside. He's taken down for a gain of 2. Quarterback keeper there. He is a good runner, I do know that. Tayamu's still over on the sideline. Not sure what the problem is there. It originally was a visor problem with his helmet. 3rd and 3. DeLeo in shotgun, back to his left. DeLeo going to keep this here. He's short of a first down. Fourth and 2. And the Brahmas defense gets a stop. Now Tayamu comes back in. But that brings us to the 2-minute warning. I'm not really sure what this whole situation is here with Tayamu. He was out for like, I don't know, 5-6 plays. Now he comes back in. It didn't seem to be an injury. I'm not sure what happened there. But the defenders currently on a long drive, 12 plays, 74 yards. They've taken 7:27 off the clock. Been so focused on the quarterback situation for DC, forgot all about the time. But defenders up by a point, but the Brahmas have got them to a 4th down. It's time to see what the defender is going to do. You can end the game here. Well, you can't really end the game with a touchdown unless you want to go really aggressive. I'm not sure. A field goal doesn't do you a ton. I mean, it puts you up by... It'll put you up by 4, which make it a field goal won't even win it or tie it if you're the Brahmas then. But, I mean, if you go for the touchdown, you'll go up by at least 7, and depending on the conversion. And even if you go for it and don't get it, you're then forcing the Brahmas to go the length of the field. They only have to get in field goal range. I don't know. I think I'm going to take the points if I'm the defenders right here, but I can understand it. It's 4th and 2 from the 4. And as far as timeouts go, 3 left for the defenders, 2 for the Brahmas. Official attendance for tonight's game between the defenders and Brahmas, 9,884. Definitely a big drop from the Brahmas home opener a few weeks ago, but I can't really say that's too unexpected. I mean, the Brahmas, they've been terrible over the past couple weeks, and I still think that's a pretty solid number. A Friday night game, when a team's been playing really bad, I still think that's pretty solid. I think they were at about 14,000 in the season opener, but I think that's decent. I mean, obviously it could be a lot better, but I don't think that's worst case scenario. 4th and 2, the defender is going to send the offense out there and go for it. They will snap this. Tayamu going to throw into the end zone to a lineman who makes the catch for a touchdown. Wow. What a play call there for the defenders. It's the lineman Gunnar Britton who makes the touchdown catch. Wow. It's a 7-point game, 31-24. What a call to go for. What a play call, too. They throw it to an extra lineman. Also, what a catch by this guy. How about a one-handed catch? Oh, hold on. Did he come down in bounds? He bobbled it a little bit. He tipped it to himself. Wow. But it's 31-24. Defenders lead. There's still plenty of time left for the Brahmas. But also, let's see what the defenders go with here as the extra point. Defenders can go for 1. There's a confusion. The refs thought they wanted 2. But Shannon Harris goes and yells at him and says, we want 1. This will put him up by 8. So 1 point attempt here for the defenders. Teamu in shotgun, back to his left. Ball on the 2-yard line. Teamu looks right, throws right, got it. Antonio makes the catch. And that puts the defenders up 8. The Brahmas need... What am I doing? What am I actually doing? 35-24. So it's 32-24. Defenders lead. Minute 55 to go. Brahmas still have 2 timeouts. I think I may have gone for 2 in that situation from the defenders. That way, the worst the Brahmas can do is tie. Or if the best the Brahmas can do is tie. And that would force them to score a touchdown and get a 3-point conversion. But the kick is away. Game's still not over. Brahmas, plenty of time left. Only down 8 and 2 timeouts. The return here for John Shea Kirkland. No, this is Corbin. Returns to the 28. But 32-24, defenders up 8. Let's see what Kevin Hogan and the Brahmas offense can do. Plenty of time left. You got 2 timeouts, and I think one of the most important things here, you got an experienced quarterback in Kevin Hogan. Both teams have 2 timeouts left. Neither team has their challenge. So from the 29, Hogan steps up in the pocket, zips one downfield, caught for a first down. John Trey Kirkland gains 15. And a first down for the Brahmas temporarily stops the clock with a minute 42 to go. It's a good start. Clock now continues to run. Hogan looks to throw. Hogan pressure goes down for a sack. That is worst case scenario there. There's still time. Minute 29 to go. And it looks like the Brahmas call a timeout right here. He sacks the quarterback while not even facing him. He's getting held by the lineman. And he just kind of falls backwards into Kevin Hogan. That's kind of crazy. But the Brahmas did call a timeout right there. So it's 2nd and 16. Second and 16, minute 31 to go. 1 timeout left for the Brahmas. So 2nd and 16. Hogan in shotgun, back to his right. Hogan looks to throw. Pressure rolls to his left. Hogan can't take a sack. He's going to take one. That's going to be a big loss there. They're not going to call a timeout right here. No, maybe they will. Yeah, there's the final timeout for the Brahmas. You got to find a way to get rid of the ball. Just get outside the pocket and throw it away if you have to. So the final timeout called by the Brahmas. It's 3rd and 26. Minute 22 to go. Brahmas are out of timeouts. You cannot take a sack if you're Kevin Hogan. Again. I mean, you couldn't previous 2 plays as well, but now you really can't take a sack. It's 3rd and a mile. 3rd and 26. Early movement here, and I'm not sure who this is going against. Oh, it's backing him up even further. 3rd and 31. Willie Tyler, the left tackle, who has not played his best game today. He's also had a tough matchup with Robertson on the other side. But it's 3rd and 31. Hogan looks to throw. Given time, throws downfield. Caught by Stevenson. Oh, he got a first down. He fumbled the ball. It's recovered by DC. Wow. How do you convert on 3rd and 31 and then fumble? Wow. The defenders recover it, and they're going to hold on for the win. Wow. How? What? That is insane. Stevenson, it's a great throw, catch, and run, but then he fumbles as he's going to the ground. That is insane. That's how this game is going to end for the Brahmas. Victory formation for the defenders. That is insane. But victory formation for the defenders. They're going to hold on and win this game 32-24. The Brahmas, they tie their highest point total of the season with 24 again against the defenders. So the Brahmas really should just play the defenders every week. But the defenders improved to 5-2. The Brahmas fall to 1-6, and I believe are eliminated from playoff contention. But, man, what a finish. Between the defenders going for it on 4th down, getting it thrown to a lineman, and then Brahma getting back up to 3rd and 31. What a finish. What a game. Defenders win 32-24. I got the winner right, but this is not the game I expected at all. Definitely did not think this would be this good of a game. I thought the defenders would blow them out. But what a game. Defenders win 32-24. They improved to 5-2. Brahmas fall to 1-6. A great game for Jordan Teamu, who ends the game with 278 yards and 3 touchdowns. Just 5 incompletions. Kevin Hogan played pretty well as well for the Brahmas. 239 and 2 touchdowns. Brahmas, they ran for 150 yards and a touchdown. But just couldn't quite get that touchdown at the end. Also, defense could have played better. Wow. The defenders win 32-24. A great game. Defenders with 13 points in the fourth quarter, 20 of their 32 points in the second half. And the defenders win 32-24. Get a bounce back win after their loss to the Panthers. Brahmas lose their third straight, but at least this one was competitive. They do show some progress. Although next week they're playing a team not named the Defenders, they'll probably get destroyed again. But hopefully not, because they are on Friday night again, so that means I will be streaming it. Oh boy, we get the Showboats and Brahmas next week. Wow, what a game! The 1-5 or 1-6 Brahmas against either the 1-5 or 1-6 or 2-5 Showboats. Wow, really can't wait for that one. At least the following week, they play the Battlehawks. That could be interesting. Rematch of a playoff game last year. That'll be interesting. But final score: Defenders 32, Brahmas 24. That's gonna do it for this stream. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like this stream, subscribe, turn notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible. Yeah, as I said, second ago I stream every Friday night game in the UFL. Got a lot of content on the way. But that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe, turn notifications. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night. And I will see you in the next video.